The agreements and paperwork are all nearly completed to set the reinstatement in motion. But, we know this is not going to happen until the CBI is ready. The CBI is not ready until they first secure the banks, the stock market, provide security, insurance, and then begin rebuilding the economy. I must mention this too as it is a factor. They will not be ready until the US Treasury and the Federal Reserve gives them the green light. The specialized courses that are being taught to these people to run these exchange centers so that the citizens can go and trade in their 3-0 notes, it's done. It's the only reason why they're telling you about it, it's not a secret. The deletion of the zeros, if they do it that way, zeros dropped before the rate change, it's going to be the redenomination. They're going to announce a new type of currency, new bank notes without the zeros on there before they make the change in the exchange rate. If it happens that way, we all have the same dinars. We're all crossing our fingers and hoping the exchange rate takes place first before any type of redenomination. Are you kidding me? Woot woot. Expansionary, here we come. I'll help you with that inflation, fellas, and how. International Reconstruction reveals the completion of the first designs for the Iraqi Development Road project. Saddam cleaned up the swamp. All of a sudden all of the banks that were stealing the Iraqi dinar, American dollar and profiteering illegally, he cleaned it all up. I told you we needed the CBI floor to be so spotless that you could eat off of the floor. The United States Treasury is on the second floor of the new CBI building. It's spotless. All the banks that were stealing have been shut down. All the political parties that had power in the media and in the banking structure of Iraq are slowly being whittled away. Hybrid monetary policy. Al-Sudani's advisor reveals the central bank's new step. Quote, the central bank began, on October 24, to reduce the monetary policy interest rate by about 200 percentage points, by lowering the interest at which the central bank deals with banks from 7.5% to 5.5%, which means an expansionary policy in targeting the money supply. Despite the above, new policy did not neglect the importance of continuing to control local liquidity levels and carrying out high sterilization operations. By offering debt instruments called Islamic certificates of deposit, which are considered sovereign debts that can be mortgaged or discounted in the secondary market, and are excellent debts, with a return of 4% for a period of 14 days and a return of 5.5% for a period of 182 days. Now we can pay with the Iraqi dinar anywhere in the world. From Iraq I can pay people over here, United States. For now it's $1,310, but I can send you $500. I'm talking about business, I'm not talking about person to person. I'm talking about business. Before we're not allowed to do that. The media is constantly broadcasting commercials about how the swap out will work. Then the news media from Iraq tells us about the cash center that recently opened in Kark. It is used solely for the intake of the 3-0 dinar notes or dollars. Folks, they are already sucking in the 3-0 notes, so in reality, unofficially, the process of deleting the zeros has already begun. Yes, it is underway according to my CBI contact. We have been told by my CBI contact on the committee that we should expect to see the ramped up project to delete the zeros sometime soon after the US election period is over sometime in November. This period of time through December will begin the process for the swap out with the newer lower denominations. To me this also means about a 1-to-1 at par rate of the IQD with the US dollar. But remember, this is in country only. Also remember, these actions always have dependencies. Nothing is a guarantee. I want to make this very clear to you today. You understand, if they lift these restrictions, they're talking about the amount of liquidity that's going to come into Iraq. Liquidity has always been an issue for them, but now this would be a big deal for them. This would be huge. A lot of liquidity would come into Iraq. It'll really strengthen the Iraqi dinar. I mean hardcore. The American Carnegie Endowment called on Iran to learn from the grave mistake made by the Iraqi regime's president, Saddam Hussein, during the 90s in the escalation when he stopped his cooperation with international inspectors and exacerbated doubts about his weapons programs. After the American Institute mentioned in a report translated by Shafak news agency, the exchange of military confrontations between Iran and Israel, it pointed out the possibility that Iran will resort to more radical options to reset regional dynamics, including adhering to its repeated threats to withdraw from the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, and reducing cooperation with the International Atomic Energy Agency. The American report explained that Article 10 of this international treaty allows the state to withdraw, but requires it to provide a notice 3 months in advance and explain the extraordinary events that have endangered its supreme